Briar Road. Yes, Briar Road. Let's ignore everything else.
Hey.
Look who's
No.
here now.
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Susato talks. Please talk for me or whatever.
Sure.
Because I need to.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll be able to hear things. Don't worry.
Okay.
What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
Is this on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware?
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So they've been to the holding cells then. Why am I a colonel?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
You care about that? I suppose.
You mean how you're sticking to that bag of fish and chips?
I'll do it to you. Doesn't bother me. The block's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict is a foregone conclusion.
Ugh, the stone cold AR projection. He knows that all too well. Take heart! London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Well, guess we talk to him before we do anything. Tell me about this Scotland Yard stick. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector.
Scotland Yard stick.
Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
Yeah, it is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamed of wearing a real Bowie's helmet. It doesn't make them look the part, seeing the policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty, goddamn, of protecting the city.
I am back from duty. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being in London, Bobby, is hard work, I can tell you.
Oh really? I thought it would be fucking easy.
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around round the shoulder.
What? He wakes people up?
Yep. Raps on the windows with a long pole. Didn't myself, going back a bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing people had to do. There was no alarm system, so you just had to have someone dedicated who could wake up early.
It's time to wake up, people.
Yeah, there's like
it's
one
just outside
guy
your
I
window.
don't know how the fuck. I
Sir,
don't know how the
sir,
fuck the guy would always wake up early.
Sir, this is the 27th floor.
Exactly. But they would get
Sir,
a
this
very
is a
long
Wendy's.
pole. But yeah, they just get a long pole and like tap on people's windows, like, "Wake up, you fucks!
Yeah.
It's time to go to work." I had no idea that was a thing. I forgot that was a thing.
I ain't gonna sleep because of y'all. You're not gonna sleep because of me.
That it wasn't usually an issue in like farmland areas because of roosters and stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah, in like city areas, they had people that were the roosters.
The Bobby works for the people in the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts silently patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's a regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me
Wait,
see.
does England use the miles?
Yeah,
imperial system?
that's why it's called Imperial
They
System.
Use like
Fair
they
enough.
use like a strange, different
I
kind
had
of
the
imperial
question until I said it out loud, and then I was like, wait.
Ah, yes.
Empire.
Does the Empire of Great Britain use the Imperial System by chance?
No,
I was
but
like,
here's the weird
The
thing is
question
they
made
also kind
sense
of use
until I
metrics.
changed. They use miles? Did they use the imperial system? I was like, wait, that's actually stupid.
I mean, still, yeah. Sorry, RPG, what were you saying?
The thing is, they also kind of use metrics sometimes, but they also have like unique things to Britain, like pounds and whatever.
Yeah,
the
the
stones.
they also, yeah, exactly, stones. That's a thing that they use for weight, and I think there are also some differences between nowadays, between the British Imperial System and the American Imperial System. So I guess like a gallon, I think is slightly different. I think.
Oh yeah, it is different. I think a pint is different.
Or pint too is like 490 something milliliters, like maybe half a liter.
Which pisses people off when they go to America. And
Yeah,
ask for a
and like like a pint in Britain is like 600 milliliters or something, like slightly more.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I'm not sure, but like there's a difference, right? All right. So Sada gonna do a conversion for us?
20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
I kind of want to check that now. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. Huh? A step too far.
Joke. Ha, 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 ha.
Thank you, Susato.
That is Susato's real laugh.
She got it from her dad.
Canon. And when you get Starkov, he has the important job of lighting all the street lamps.
Rarely did the policemen do that? I thought there were like dedicated people for that. Who went around lighting the lamps.
Oh my.
I suppose in between all those
Oh,
duties, Bobby's
I thought
expected to
she had
investigate
more
cases
lines.
as well?
We chase after criminals trying to evade the law. Then you beat them with a stick.
I'm not sure if you're kind of in between exactly. More like alongside, but yes. You're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keenly over from time to time, and I admit
It's a regular occurrence, really.
I'd always tried to find one of those helmets, as I said.
Apparently those weigh very heavy.
But now I don't wanna. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Nuttall.
Why?
everybody's pushing that dream.
Why?
What the
It's not, you know, don't assume things. Just because I took on Kazuma's dream does not mean I can take on yours too. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Alright, what about this
Here,
cheese?
these are my fish and chips. I dream of eating them to the end.
The fish and chips weigh heavy.
It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open beat of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is it right that the lady's still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital.
I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around Peters Marshes, I won't be able to find out much about her at all.
I suppose that means I haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want.
And it's full of grease stains. Really? Are you sure?
It's full of grease stains.
It's your policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
I'm lost. Where am I? Let's have a look at the map. Anybody. As far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? How much of a head scratcher is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsuma is also claiming to not have seen anyone else around, but
But just because I didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. They could have been in the windows, they could have been staring
In
from
the
window.
window! I'm sorry to have it tell you, but we must certainly can be sure.
Was it an alleyway?
How?
Oh! Anyway, because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
also there was a witness.
So there was a witness.
What? Two?
We have two reliable witnesses, no less.
Reliable.
Is it in the tower? To the left, in the abandoned.
Yeah, up on the top.
It
Yeah.
might be. They were probably in the abandoned building. Yeah.
It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them.
There were
But wait,
witnesses now?
how could they see them in this position if the tower.
I mean,
the abandoned
yeah, and
tower is
like in the
covered with
dense
brick.
fog too. Like if they were like a good ways away.
No, the tower is the only place that doesn't have brick in the house. It is actually windows.
Yeah, like the house with the brick windows, like up on top. They were like still.
And there are two street lights in the
Mhm.
just one location that you can see.
Mhm, yeah. What about these witnesses? Where are these witnesses, Inspector?
A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all London. Magnus
Huh.
McGill.
I was gonna say Magnus McGill.
I was just gonna say that sounds familiar.
Second.
That's second most
Oh.
reputable. Well, currently most reputable.
Ooh, he's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Oh,
A policeman? That might change things. Yeah, of course they believe a colleague, right?
and this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked.
And he waited like the entire night to go arrest the person that ran away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a Bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman a few questions?
Be my guest, be my guest. You can ask him what you like in court tomorrow.
Spoil sport. Oh,
I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that will give you something to look forward to.
that's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident.
That makes things more complicated, doesn't it?
Are you sure? Are you difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Ah, yes, one more thing, Inspector.
I'm not giving you my fish and chips. Don't even think about it.
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that wasn't Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Why are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? The color strained from his cheeks?
His cheeks.
Alright, why?
Where did you hear that name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsme who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was a result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Yeah, inspirational. That's what we
Every
were
time
calling
you say I'm sure. Pharaoh.
Ooh.
That man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh,
I don't know where he got his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime.
I mean, he has this network of, like, homeless kids, right?
Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gobble. Hibble habble. Haven't seen this before?
Oh yes, that's Rand's magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, is fate to include several of the Yard's detective says in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, suppose there is an element of that.
We walk our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to their obnoxious detective. The man is as dangerous to us as Scotland Yard as he is to all of our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship.
I don't want to fuck him. What?
Everyone does.
That Twitchy Japanese blog goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Makes no difference to me, but I'll just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch the case with a barge pole.
well, good thing I'm not a London lawyer. Because the prosecution's
I
being
don't know
held by
the-
the Reaper of the Vale here.
And I
man.
don't know how much salt is worth.
There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange though.
Sorry?
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something
Like
to that
5
effect.
years?
Yeah, it was 5 years, I think.
Flashback? No flashback. And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the massive criminals, the violent ones.
Well, it looks like he has a good reason to return then, huh? There must be someone in the...
Someone
Someone
must have,
said,
like,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start steering shit.
I was gonna say someone in the shadows
Yeah.
probably then, he knows that.
he's trying to find Moriarty.
Master criminals?
The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Nussman wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely?
That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the one woman was stabbed, but he didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's gotta be more to it. Some reason he's taking an interest.
Yeah, probably because,
Is
like...
it because it's
the
another
entire,
case
like-
that was picked by mail?
I was just gonna say, like, maybe that, yeah. I was gonna say, like,
Yeah,
if he assumes... Yeah, if he assumes, like, the police are corrupt, and there is a policeman witness to this, right? That would sound fishy to me too, because I think he has an inkling that the police are corrupt, right?
And,
Or maybe he's
and
just trying to take
maybe-
any case that Male Strongheart is suggesting to you, because he doesn't
Yeah.
trust him.
Yeah, exactly, and that too.
And there is the thing of there was a bailiff that conducted Magilda to apparently his death.
Yeah, exactly, and the bailiff probably, like, shoved him in then and lit the thing on fire.
Yeah.
To get rid of McGilded.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
I don't know.
If you could tell, if I could know what the fuck is going on in the head of that handsome guy. I don't wanna fuck him.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Delicious looking Lord of Darkness.
Tall, brooding, and vampire. I have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. The Lord of Darkness. The Lord of Darkness?
I'm here again.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Thanks for telling me that game.
Are there more stuff in the back there? I don't remember that wheel and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just a copper in front.
Yeah,
of it.
I was going to say, I think there was a policeman in
There's a
front of that.
copper in front of it,
Yep.
yes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes. What is it?
Well, it seems to me
That you lead your life
Like a candle in the wind. I was going to say the same thing.
that we must speak with him about this.
Oh, you're doing the pronoun game, are you now? By him, do you mean
Jesus?
The Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly.
221B Baker
Look at the
Street.
map. We never actually did.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Hatsuma did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not.
That is a strong pose.
I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again.
It's not simply my desire, which means that
Exactly.
it is a desire.
Exactly.
But it's not only that.
I do want to, of course, but you know.
I don't want to
things-
fuck him. Like everybody.
I don't like him because I'm a fan of him. I mean, I am a fan of him, but that's not why I like him.
I mean, I don't like him. What are you talking about, Baka?
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even.
It's Baker Street.
Don't throw me.
Is that the Baker Street pose?
How do you know that?
In the stories, he dogs himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just doxes himself.
Uh, 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. 202 whatever.
2221B.
90210.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. You better try to find a way there before stuff doesn't get any more excited and unpredictable and throws me.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
Do we have money for that? So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Could we continue?
Nope. Still more.
I am the great detective.
Still,
Mr.
yeah,
Brown.
yeah, that's just the policeman there.
Yeah.
That's
Can
not
we
okay.
look at the map?
Yeah. We can do that. Alrighty. Wow, that's interesting.
Wow. Calabash. Meerschaum. Briar.
That's Meerschaum. That's actually German. That means sea foam.
Seafoam.
Yeah. That's a very not useful map, but okay.
Nope. Interesting that there is a drawing of a property, even though there is like completely blank.
Me. Oh yeah. So we assume they witnessed it from up here? From this
Yeah.
house? Yeah.
It's the only relevant location for now.
Yeah, exactly. I want to look at that. Right up
That
there.
and Frosty.
Up there. So there's nothing else that we've checked everything else.
And even Yonosuke said like this building is crooked, more crooked than the others.
Yeah, exactly. So something's up with that. Well, looks like we're going to Baker Street.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
I guess you're gonna stop talking to me to go talk to me.
Look at my band. Inspector Gregson, could I show you this?
What the fuck?
It's worn by the fence lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession.
In other words, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I have know.
Oh, it's indecent to expose your spirit here. So don't do it.
Don't give up, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's too late. He's crushed my spirit already. I'm dead.
I am here to crush your spirit.
A new location has been added.
Show me
Sholmes
sweet.
Suite. 221B Baker Street. The home and office of the most famous detective in the world.
Oh, pinch me. Sure must be dreaming.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh,
Didn't expect a cutscene for this.
me neither. Baker Street.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
But I.
Again.
Wait, it's just up there. And then they look behind them.
The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
fancy.
Pinwheel.
Wow.
Yep, I figured.
That is,
Yes.
that's
That's
Sean's room, all right.
Yeah, that's about what I
That's
expected.
gonna-
There's a
It's
shoe.
exactly what I expected.
There's a shoe in the shelf. There's a shoe up on the chimney. A bust of what looks like George Washington.
Or Napoleon.
Or Napoleon. Yeah, it might be Napoleon. All right. So this is where the great detective makes his living.
Movie makes me want to watch Basil from Baker Street.
Oh, yeah. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Hello? There's the violin. Nice. It is as described. Is it as described in the stories, Mr.
Look,
Soseki?
the gun marks on the top.
Oh, nice. What is it? Are those letters? Like VR?
Yeah, VR.
VR?
I remember those from the movie with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Susato-san?
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose there must have been, yes. I read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down in unlit London street.
Okay, so I have the reason why I'm gonna keep
Oh,
buying
the thrill of
case
it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest?
Can't you miss an hour?
No. Oh, I suppose I can, yes. Otherwise, I would be falling over dead right now if my heart wasn't beating, right? That's how that works.
So, if you don't mind,
Touch.
Huh?
I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me.
She's obsessed.
Let's
Well.
start with the VR and see if it explains. If it doesn't, I have the explanation pulled
Hmm?
out.
Okay. Looks like a detective friend isn't home at present. And the door was unlocked? Very
And the
careless.
fireplace is on.
Excuse me? Is anybody home? Oh, I think
we have a visitor.
No, that's not him.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello? Wait. Aren't you? Oh, how rude
Are
of
you
me.
too short for a stormtrooper?
I'll come. I'll go make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Hato, did you see the girl who was just here?
It's just
Oh,
fangirling.
yes, isn't it truly extraordinary?
Very, very.
To think that the king of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The king of Bavaria? No, Bohemia, not Bavaria. What?
King Wilhelm
Ah!
Gottfried Sigismund von Ornstein, of course.
I'm sure that's not his name.
I'm sure that's not a real person.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment. Look over there! The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well.
Ah, it's you.
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too.
Flashback.
There we go. Ah, there you are. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to
She's
the
the thief that Magilda
try one of my
hired
experimental
RPG.
smoke grenade launcher. Yeah,
Ah.
the left one is the thief. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
Oh yeah, she also. Oh, we don't see what happened
Yeah,
later.
she's probably gonna do that in a bit here too. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGill's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor.
Thank you. It's all
Hooray!
you.
It's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see? You must be exhausted after all your long voyage here. And you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you
Wait,
to
how do
defend
you know?
you need to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck.
Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance?
Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Early. The guy from Lost.
Hurley?
And her luck.
Mr. Sholmes to you, surely.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain recently.
Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, you think?
He's the mastermind.
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I?
Here's my cat.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Harley. Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be.
Are you related to the Wilson that died in the first case?
Hmm?
Probably.
Did you say your name is Wilson?
Oh,
Some man with
she
Saturn.
Wilson?
Why is she so flustered of all
No,
this
RPG, there's more than one Wilson in
No,
Britain.
but maybe like it's never specified in any of the stupid books that they're actually like a little girl.
Yeah, but there is a Wilson in the first case.
I'm aware, but but still, who knows?
And so I'm wondering if there are...
Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you.
Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it.
Susie.
Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
I want to look around first. Holy shit, this is a lot to take in.
Let's see the VR.
VR? Okay.
Just to see if there is an
Yep.
explanation.
Why are those bullet holes in the wall up there? Was Mr. Sholmes trying to shoot a pestry fly or something?
Mr. Sholmes would never do something so reckless. He would stab them.
No.
Those are the letters VR standing
Okay,
for
yeah.
Okay.
Standing for Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria. Got it. So you mean he shot the queen into the wall?
In a moment of boredom, Mr. Sholmes adorned the wall with a patriotic sign, that's all. As pistol practice.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Hey, let me
That
close that
makes
Google
perfect
search.
sense. That makes perfect sense now.
It's exactly as it's described in the stories. Oh, this is delightful.
I'm not sure that the real explanation is any less reckless than shooting a fly, personally.
Patriotic, Mr. Naruhodo. Patriotic.
It looks like there is a little smiley face in the glass ball. In the on top of the chair.
Oh,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like,
Oh, hey, it's
Nice.
distractible.
oh, let's look at it. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help but feeling that the whole lot is gonna topple at any moment. Ooh. I keep telling her not to cram so much on these on those shelves. Good advice. He wanted to look something up in one of those books a while ago. but it was so tightly wedged in, he couldn't get it out. So I went and bought a new copy instead. Yeah, that's yeah.
You know what? If you like a book, you help the writer.
Might as well help the economy. Check the fiddle. Ah, I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, is it? Isn't it?
Of course it is. Mr. Schultz is renowned for his violin planning.
Planning.
He
Oh, really?
plays.
He throws any girl's wings.
Absolutely, it's often explained in the stories as inspiration, Mr. Naruhodo. Inspirational. I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find.
What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London.
Oh, yes, well, fuck it. Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house.
Well, that's rude.
So now it's merely an ornament in my room.
That must have been an awkward conversation. Oh, second-rate strings. Wow, rude. What about this
It's a
machine?
big machine.
What on earth is this huge over-the-top machine? That's the great analytoscope. It can analyze anything, really. Anything at all.
So it's a microscope.
That's absolutely incredible.
It's one of Hurley's inventions. Took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with his investigations.
I mean, you cannot really bring it anywhere.
Not really, no.
I mean, he brings stuff to him, like to
Yeah.
the house, I guess.
I mean, if he was in a boat to Hong Kong, there isn't much he can do analyze.
Yeah.
What sort of things has he analyzed with it? Do you know?
Nothing yet. Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Yeah.
Of course.
Figures.
He just made it
Yep.
recreationally.
Yep.
Oh,
It's too big.
Why not? Apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, suddenly occurred to him,
He can just,
I don't actually have anything I need to analyze.
oh dear.
How about you, Bruno? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze? The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. Can I put the map under it?
Put our map in
Yeah.
it to see if it analyzes to make a better map.
I'm gonna...
Can you put your band? Your lawyer's band?
Nothing on the floor?
Nothing on this side.
Alright.
Let's go talk to Napoleon. Oh, the
No, that's not what I was looking at. I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Lingering beside the fire and watching the flames flicker and dance in the grate. Oh, it's so relaxing.
Is it the same PNG from the fires in the?
Oh, I gotta look.
I wouldn't be
Sure.
surprised because it's a game that you're making.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wouldn't be surprised either. I just noticed and I was like.
Yeah, it
"This
might be.
really-"
Might be.
Recycling that sort of thing is usually
Yeah.
practice. in
Yeah, exactly.
game creation.
I am
So-
not. I am not dragging them down for it. I just noticed.
Oh yeah, no, it's common practice.
I'm just saying it's normal.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, so
We can't relax now when there's so many interesting things on the mantelpiece.
Oh, thank you.
Analyze everything. Oh, it's just as it was described in the stories.
It is.
Yes, exactly. Inside that Persian slipper, for example.
Are mini chocolates for 11s.
11Zs.
11Zs
And transfixed by their large jackknife.
is my shopping list for the market.
Oh, it's not quite how I remember being described in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
The Adventures of what, sorry?
Who is Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes! Sorry, it's over the tongue.
Post this out to son, she looks crushed.
That is his evil twin.
His evil twin.
He's like the last smarter brother of Sherlock Holmes or whatever, which in Wild.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was yawning.
A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing
Yeah,
man,
the smarter brother.
a bust
Sorry.
of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection.
This is the first time in my life that I've seen a lonely old shoe displayed as an ornament.
Yeah.
Oh, those are all mementos that Harley's collected from his past cases. Really? Even the bust? Yes, that's right. When the mood takes him, he likes to throw it on the floor and smash it to dust. And then put it back together? The poor defenseless emperor, Mr. Schultz, destroys it? Yes, and then he buys a new one. Oh.
Oh.
You make it sound like it's the temperament of an insane sculptor.
Ah, how entrancingly bohemian of him.
What do you mean, loony? What about this chest? Looks like this huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee.
It's a coffin.
Seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go around opening things.
Oh, sorry. Let me close my pants real quick. There we go.
I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're so mischievous, so naughty, so fucking hard to manage.
One second. That
You always go into people's cupboards. You always steal
You-
the panties.
you-
You always sniff things for no particular reason. You're like a puppy. You're like a pathetic puppy. Why are you doing this sort of thing?
one second. Can you very carefully read that last word again?
Mischievous.
No.
Mischievous.
Thank you.
Because there's two ways to like read it usually.
Yeah, but when people say mischievous, there's no I after the V. So why
Yeah.
do they say it that way?
I don't know. You just
It's
do.
mischievous. Because that's what
Mischievous.
that's how it's written.
I mean, that's what we say. I don't know why we say it. We
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I always wondered that.
I think it might be the difference between like the British and like American spelling sometimes too.
Is that a
Might
spelling
spell
thing? Like,
something
do they is that like with judgment where
different.
they
I
like
think they sometimes spell it different.
because like the American but like American spellings usually omit letters. Because of the printing press, it was cheaper if you just left out some letters.
I might have.
Yeah,
to do
that's
it
why
back.
that's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. Like the unnecessary use and stuff like that. They just left them out because it was cheaper to print them.
Well, it might have been a leftover because it was probably mischievous originally.
Might be. How did you come to that conclusion? You really don't. Ooh, that chest contains some of my most valuable things. That smile tells me you're not gonna give us any clue about what they are. What else? What else? Nothing here. Nope. That's interesting. What is this? Oh, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas. Ooh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter? What does that mean?
Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'll come back to the blackboard later. Oh, damn it. I wanted to know. What about this medication? That's a charming little white shelf and full of charming little bottles, too. And everything up there is poisonous. Oh, yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode. Or that. Explode?
Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments?
Exotic burgers.
Yes, indeed.
Poggers.
And as Hurley always says, chemistry is an explosive science. Sorry?
I agree. A single discovery can trigger an explosion of innovation all around the world. Also, it can explode in your face and kill you. But, you know,
Yeah, or perhaps he just meant it literally. Either way, mental note, do not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris. It's a smart idea, maybe? What about this typewriter? That looks nice. What on earth is that big black lump over there? Ah, that fascinating thing is called a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. And wizardly quickly, too. Well, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting. What else? What else? Nothing? Nothing.
Mm.
Oh, what? Ooh, table. beautiful English tea set, and so neatly arranged. It's a favorite pastime of mine, a cup of herbal tea in the afternoon.
Tea made of herbs? As opposed to...
That's right.
I don't know.
I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden, so I can experiment with different blends. One moment. Do go away. I'll brew part of the special blend I came up with earlier today. She looks delighted. I only hope it's safe to drink. Well,
Now we talk to her.
now we talk to her. It looks like. I just want to look around like
Thank you for the tea. Let me look around your house.
just like any like references or something. But like, I don't know. It looks really nice. Anyway, how old are you, by the way, Iris?
Move.
She's 10.
10.
She has a degree in medicine. Sorry, Dr. Iris Wilson.
And is the author of a popular series of short stories.
Well, yeah, it's Dr. Wilson.
And he's a mayor.
What?
He's like, have his shitload of like professions at 10.
Astrophysicist.
Iris Wilson. Your introductions. Anyway, let's talk about you. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes, that's right. You were so helpful. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm so sorry you couldn't have been more welcoming.
So at the time we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. There it is. Like this? No.
Go.
Also, thinking back now, you left with Miss...
Lestrade.
Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty for her to pinch my invention like that.
You get paid to pickpocket people.
Yeah, no, it pays.
Oh.
It pays for itself technically.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you
I guess
referring
it
to that?
does.
Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. Huh. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Jeannie back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusted technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly.
Really?
Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
I'm his boss.
Yeah.
Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes?
Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive, so we're rooming together. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
How are you paying? Wait,
Sorry.
wait, you have medicine
Sorry.
degree.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god, they're roommates. No, she's a child. They are roommates.
Oh my god, they're roommates. We're fucked.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you?
I'm 10.
10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Dead. Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I don't know what the story is there. Well, what about this Wilson?
We'll talk about the story.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you.
Of course. Go ahead, Susie.
I am a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes there.
Oh, you have a copy of Rand's magazine.
Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship.
What a waste of resources. Oh, this is so exciting.
Just one book. An entire book.
Exactly. It's just my stories are being read on the other side of the world. My
Just one
stories?
book at a time.
That's right. Curly's always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Oh, goodness.
Last night he was telling me all about the new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. Wonder who that was about. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. Can I have a look at that, please?
And then we roller skated around the room.
Exactly.
So you
On hoverboards.
are the author.
Yes. I'll let you in on a secret if you, I'd let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure the Speckled Band. Oh, do tell. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
You still haven't understood what the thing is, you know, Skate?
Oh my god, are they stupid? Are they really stupid? Is everyone here stupid?
I mean,
I hate this
It
game.
is an Ace Attorney game.
it is an
I
Ace Attorney
hate
game,
this
yeah.
game. I hate this franchise so much because no one understands anything.
Context, what is it?
7 lines of dialogue to get to a very obvious point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god.
The thing is, like, in court you can't even if you think 3 steps ahead, or if you're already 3 steps ahead, you still have to get there the way the game
Yeah.
intends you to. That's always the frustrating thing.
I still remember when we've got the teeth. They were like, yeah, let's talk about the teeth.
teeth. It's just
Or the fucking coin under the stake.
yeah.
Of course, I always change 1 or 2 details in the stories here and there. Well, yeah, as you do. I mean,
What?
you're not a chronist,
Like-
you're an
I mean,
author, right?
You probably can want to change the name of.
Oh, this time I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of
So
course I know
making
that a
it
snake
mean, right?
might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you?
So you mean to say
The truth about my stories have been greatly exaggerated.
the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rand's magazine?
Mostly true.
All written by me? Yes. On my wonderful and very modern typewriter.
But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
So Sutherland's getting more and more worked up.
John.
Yeah, a pen name. Ah, yes, that's me.
Which was coincidentally the name of the guy that died
Yeah.
in the first case.
Yeah. I mean, my
Right.
name really is Wilson.
But what about the doctor of medicine part?
That's all true, too. I'm a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old? Well, that's quite incredible.
But
Aw.
Why are you always why are you almost crying?
Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
I knew it. The other guy had nothing to do with this.
Oh,
Why
yes.
you almost crying?
I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling.
Oh. Oh.
Is this like the writers of this game talking to us now?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow?
Not really.
I suppose it does, yes.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Oh. About before... Yes, what's on your mind, Bruno? You tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean?
Yes. Oh, and then we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that?
Oh, that's what you mean.
Please tell us how you did it. Explain every detail.
Of course, I'd be delighted. although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Oh, she does the same. Oh no. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular.
Hey, trigger discipline, lady.
Oh no. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Uno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. That checks out.
There.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How'd you know that? It's the ticket. Oh, I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So I was reasonably confident that
you take it out after you went to bed.
must have only just arrived in the country. Hmm? And on top of that, you accepted a case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you're unaware of London's court affairs. True? The Reaper of the Bailey? Oh, walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stem on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? They used the stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see.
Prison in England is like a club.
I was just gonna say... the dungeon. Faint techno music. And the red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. Really? They have a specific sign for that? That's interesting. So that told me that even though you'd only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGillen, the two of you had already caused to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see.
How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow?
Oh, it's always like that. Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he called a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly
he
that
was bawling and trembling.
that must have been... Yeah.
Oh my god, he was crying so much. My god, he was terrified. Clearly he must have been murdered.
Mr. Matsume.
He's very, very frightedly playing his invisible Game Boy. Now, Runa has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clearly made that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. There was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Would you look at that? She's actually good at this.
She knows what she's doing.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He's silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Wait 1 second. Oh, well, thank you so much for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner?
A great detective.
Were my deductions correct? They were
Her stamp
spot on.
disappeared.
Damn.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
Better than Hurley. You haven't managed that certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that.
This is really very good news.
Why?
You could tell us all about the case involved with the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please.
Please. Help.
Nice.
Help.
Okay, so Japanese man.
So yesterday Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Hurley just arrived back in London after a sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective was a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who'd seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene.
Stupid.
He's a stupid man.
The short, shifty-looking, stooped man.
Mr. Natsume beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Curly used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. There was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police. And what did they find? A piece of cheese! A short, shifty-looking, stupid man shivering in fear. Mr. Jones's great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still...
Sometimes.
That means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly.
Hurley says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire.
That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
That's terrible.
So, honestly, like, Kazuma was about, like, going here to change the Japanese justice system. Surely not to this, though, did should change this one here first.
To be fair, in Japan, it was not much better.
I mean, no.
I mean, the first case that we have, we were holding a gun.
That is true.
Fair.
That is true.
They had way more evidence than this.
But they also, like, hid evidence and other things.
Yeah.
The police themselves, so, like, fuck. It's a little different. A little bit worse.
I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold out too much hope, or much hope, for Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Aw. Oh, you're most welcome. I had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Shows is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well... I expect Hurley's still investigating the scene. Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume. 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 Hurley said he was going to meet the man. He was going to the man's lodgings. Ooh. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case...
Are you going to mark on my map? No.
Give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure that he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this?
Was ist das?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Wish you were here. They have a picture of it. But...
Iris's postcard has been entered into the court record.
Let's see the court record.
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem."
That sounds like a threat. Or a bribe.
Jesus Christ.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea. So come back again soon.
We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
To be continued? No.
So,
Please,
somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note, and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand.
be continued, to be continued, to be continued,
To be continued.
Yay! Oh, okay, that's enough for today, I guess.
Yeah, that's almost 3 hours. I think we've gone long enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also because I couldn't stay much longer anyways.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We're good. We're good.